Jupiter Classic Stock in Oval Rain Race. Hello there everybody and welcome to Opafet Gaming. I am the Opafet. We're driving a Jupiter Classic Stock car in our semi-pro special season. We're at a Classic Oval Stocks race finale round 2 on the Crescent Valley Oval Circuit. We're driving at night in a stormy, rainy race, and we start at 22nd of 22 where we're still sitting. This is a tough race to win because it's so hard to see, but best we can do is just kind of follow them along, and then when there's a little bit of room, the nice thing about these oval races is the track is quite wide, so we got lots of room. But that means that the other cars got lots of room to come ripping around you too. And the other thing is, I always thought that when you're driving on an oval track, you just go around and around in circles. But the track, the force feedback, as I got pushed from the rear end there, the force feedback really pushes you towards the outside of the track when you go around the corner. So you do have to slow down. See, like I'm showing right here. It almost pushed me up against the wall. So you got to slow down a little bit as you're coming around the corner. Now, the other thing that I have a little bit of trouble with, as in real life, when it gets dark, it's a little bit harder to see when you're driving, and when it's raining, it's even worse. That makes it twice as bad. So it's not much different in sim racing. It's hard to keep the car going straight. You're getting banged left, right, and center, and trying to avoid the rain. Well, you can't avoid the raindrops because they sure come down on the windshield, as you can see. Absolutely awesome racing like this, so I prefer to race like this than to drive around in real life. As we're coming around the corner here, coming back up to the grandstand, that's finishing our second lap, and we're sitting in 12th. Gonna move up a little bit here. Now we are driving in Grid Legends, and as I like to warn people that are watching, that can happen just with regularity in Grid Legends. The cars will spin out, or they'll flip, or they'll lose a car part, and in the process sometimes take 1 or 2 or 3 cars out that are behind them. So you got to be careful, because this is quite Grid Legends is more like a contact race, and on the oval they seem to do even more, a little bit extra. As you see, notice that I've been getting bumped, rear-ended, and side swiped a little bit, but it's all part of the race. So we just take it and we race on. You can't be too worried about it. As long as it doesn't bang you off the track, you keep going. And if you happen to, softly rear-end somebody, or you do it to somebody else, it's not much of a problem. Everybody just keeps on racing. So here now we are starting our 4th lap, so that means we're almost halfway through the race. Or sorry, yeah, three and a half, halfway through the 4th lap, you'd be halfway through. And we are now in first place. Now, I don't normally like to get out in first, in the lead, early in the race. However, sometimes there's not much you can do about it if the other cars are going so slow that you just pretty well have to stop to stay behind them. I'm not going to do that. So, if we do happen to find ourselves in a peculiar position as we are in at the moment, where we're in first place and we still got a lot of race left to go, I try to practice my track time. I keep an eye on the buffer zone that is between me and the car behind me, which is about 2.5-3 seconds. If I can keep that steady, that just improves my gameplay for races down the road, because I have a hard time when I'm in the lead to keep a constant pressure on, and I forget and I start to slow down too much, and then the cars catch up to me and then they pass me, and sometimes that happens in the last lap or right near the finish. So we want to get a little bit better at that. So you can only practice that when you're in the lead, and I'm keeping it at a fairly decent 2.5 to 3 second buffer. So I'm pleased with that. That helps out for the races in the future. But normally I prefer to chase a car, have a pace car in front of me, but they got to go fast enough. If they don't go fast enough, then the Opafet's not going to follow you. He's going to lead you then. So as we're coming up around the corner here, we're starting to do a little bit better. We sneak down to the center of the track and then back out to the outside as we come around the corner. And we try to keep her in the middle of the track a little bit, just for the fun. So we're starting our 6th lap as we're getting in a little bit more practice time. But boy, I tell you, it is like the graphics are second to none. It's an awfully awesome game to play. You know, I really love the races. They're a lot of fun. And they're even more fun when you win. They're not a lot of fun if you get knocked off the track, which has happened to me. I've flipped my car and I've been hit and knocked right off the track, and that's not a lot of fun. But there again, like I said, all part of the game. You just do the best you can, and as long as you have fun, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. So as we're coming up around the corner here again, back to the grandstand, I believe, and then we'll be into our last lap. As we come up around the corner here, down the straightaway, one more lap to go. Boy, I tell you, I really enjoyed this one again. There's not many races in this game that I don't care for. I really like the racing through the streets of cities, but I've gotten to like these track races too. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you back at Opafet Gaming again real soon. Until the next time, you've been racing on the oval track with the Opafet.